In this episode of Man vs. Marriage, it's the playbook for the epic fail. Crazy good communication when it goes crazy wrong.
The podcast.
How good do you want your life to be?
It's truly about becoming the best version of yourself that's possible.
This is Man vs. Marriage.
The podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of Man vs. Marriage. Thank you so much for listening. This is the playbook episode. Epic fail, sucker. EFS. Crazy good communication when it goes crazy, crappy wrong. It's called life, baby. And here we are. When we give you the playbook episode, it's some things you can put in your playbook. So when you see these things happening, you can make some plans, adjustments called audibles, and just have some action to take to help you get better, help your marriage get better, help life get better, so you're the best version of you possible, even when it irritates the piss out of people. Let's get into it. All right, honey, we had a major miscommunication that went on for weeks. We had a pandemic paranoia. We had vacation plans canceled, kids coming back for homeschool, and we made no adjustments. We did not voice that we were overwhelmed or frustrated. We just decided to go all in on each other, and not in a good sexual way, but in a good, I'm against you, you're against me.
We
and
took
let's
what
fight it
life
out.
gave us, and we didn't kick it back.
That's right.
What happened?
We took it and we started hitting each other with it. And that kind of sucks.
Quincy always says life keeps kicking me in the balls. One of these days, we need to learn to kick back.
Yep, let's do it. Okay, so let's talk about the playbook. What are some plays that we can give these cats?
Okay, so first thing we ran across was a lot of these changes were not in our control.
True.
The first thing that you and I should have done, and I hope everybody else has or is going to after hearing this, sit down with your spouse and go over where are you mentally in what's going on around us. Because for me, having the kids come home, being told, not asked. I wasn't asked, do I want to homeschool again? I wasn't asked, what options did I want to look at? I was told, your kids are coming home. This is what the school requires. This is what you're going to do. Okay. I don't know about y'all, but I do not do well with people telling me you're gonna. It's like automatically there's this person inside me that stomps her foot down on the ground and goes, bullshit, and backs up and pushes against everything. And then I become overwhelmed because there's too many people or things pushing back. Mm-hmm. So if you have not, and this could be anything, we have the same conversation when the kids go to the hospital, when things change with a job, when things change with our finances and we're moving into a house. We have to stop and recognize and communicate. Where are you emotionally? Where are you mentally? For me, it is extremely, extremely important that Quincy and I touch base with this because I will withdraw.
Yeah.
It's not intentional. Like I said before, if you or your spouse has ever dealt with depression or anxiety issues, it is not an intentional thing, but it is what's familiar and it's what's easy. Mm-hmm. Problem is, once you go to what's familiar and easy, you can't get out of it by yourself. So Quincy is kind of my anchor. When we run into a tornado in life, I need Quincy to ground me. It's not his responsibility to make sure that I'm processing through everything, but I do need his help to recognize because I don't always see it. So the first thing I would do in the playbook, sit down and have a conversation with your spouse. What's going on right now? Maybe your job has changed. Maybe you're working at home now. Maybe, she was home by herself while the kids were at school and now everybody's home and you're noticing some changes in personality. Maybe she's getting a little frustrated. Maybe she's a little more tired, withdrawn. Just touch base with each other. Figure out where you're at. Is there anything we need to do to change and give you an out? A couple of our kids came to us and had meltdowns because I need a change of scenery. All we did was move dinner outside. Huge difference. Major impact. You know, take them for a drive. We drove down into our other little town right here and took them into Sonic just to drive through and get a drink. But the line took an hour. So my kids were excited because we were out of the house for an hour. It's stupid. It's petty. It's little, whatever. But we all need it. We need to change the scenery.
Yeah. Very important to check in. How are you doing? How are you handling this? Are you okay?
Do you need me to do anything for you? Quincy's very, very good at asking me, how can I help? Do you need me to do anything? What do you need from me? Key questions you need to know. You also need to be willing to tell your spouse, this is what I need from you. This is what you can do to help me. Can you do this for me? Very, very, very important. I suck at it.
And I'm not here to assume that you, because you're a guy, think and operate like me, and because, you know, your wife might just think and operate just like Jeannie. You have to know yourself. That's crucial. You must venture to know your wife better so that you can understand what she needs. And we're home team. And I'm not saying it's my responsibility to make you process through things, honey, but it is my responsibility to make sure that I'm doing my part so we connect and communicate.
What it boils down to is your needs change based on circumstance. This is where we dropped the ball. We didn't get together and say, our vacation's canceled. We know we need this time. What are we going to do moving forward to make sure we're going to get this time? As soon as we found out the kids were coming home and your job hours were shifting and all these things started hitting at one time, we dropped the ball. We should have gotten together and said, okay, hold on, time out. We know we need this. It's been established. What are we going to do to fix it? Because step 2 would be, what are your non-negotiables? Because sometimes life sucks and your non-negotiables have to bend. Our non-negotiable is time away. Our non-negotiable is we talk when there's a problem with each other, not other people. We weren't doing either one of those. Busted. So what we had to come up with, and we have just figured this out, so we're learning with you. We need that time away. What are we going to do? What plan can you take? Can you sit with your spouse? If your non-negotiable is that you guys get a date night and you're not able to get a date night because of the way the pandemic is going on or whatever else is going on in your life, like I said, we've had hospital stays for 2 weeks at a time. I'm gone, he's here. We see each other in the hospital and there is no sex, no conversation, no nothing, because all we're dealing with is logistics. Okay? If all you're doing right now is logistics, put everything in park, sit down and have a conversation, because logistics is going to screw you. And not in a happy pull my hair and let's get this thing done kind of way.
Honey.
I'm just saying. It's, for us, that's what we discovered in the last few days is everything went to logistics. And our relationship got put in park and we never put it back in drive.
Yeah.
We just let it sit.
It was all business.
So our non-negotiable had to come back to, I'm going through something and I need to talk to you first. Now, if that means coming to you and saying, I don't know if I can talk to you about this yet, but I'm going to go see Rita, or I'm going to make an appointment to go see somebody else that we trust. Let me air this out and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. You got to put it out there. I didn't do that, and that's where all of this snowballed from.
What's up, you stud? You man beast. It's the Q-Dog here with a quick Did You Know? Did you know about our website, manvsmarriagepodcast.com? That's man, V like victory, S like success, marriagepodcast.com. Did you know about our email, coach@manvsmarriagepodcast.com? What about our Facebook group? Check it out at MVSM Podcast. And finally, on our website, go subscribe. Become a mantastic subscriber to Man vs. Marriage. You will get tips and tricks on how to have a better marriage, a better you, and more sex. Coming soon, Man vs. Marriage, the mailbox. Anyway, that's it. Back to the show. Thank you, you stud, you studly man beast.
With your non-negotiables, find a way to bend them. Even if you can't make it perfect, you can order in and go to your room and have a private dinner away from the kids.
Yeah,
Grubhub is live right now, so use it.
In the sports world, it's called an audible. You have to make adjustments. You got to take what the defense gives you. That's what's necessary so that you can be successful. And that's what we should have done, and we did not do it.
And this is one of those things I'm going to point out, and I'm not picking on Quincy by any means, because I could have done it too. But I'm just saying, in the past episodes, we told you, if you do something and you put the effort in to do it, and it's something that she's not expecting, your outcome is going to be a whole lot better. So if you were to make the play and order dinner, call her on your way home from work, babe, dinner's coming, you and I are having date night, set the kids up with the movie, this is what we're doing, you're going to take a lot of stress off her shoulders.
Wait a minute. Pause. I interrupted you there. I'm sorry. I did make that play. And then you broke the van.
I didn't break the van. Don't make fun of my baby. I didn't like seeing it on the tow truck. Don't do that to me. That's not nice.
Not that I need any defending, but I did in the middle of this thing.
He did. He made a plan. The kids had decorated the table out back. I was supposed to come home and take a shower and get dressed in a nice outfit. He was going to get his shower, get dressed, and we were going to have a date night outside. And then on the way home from someplace, my car decided to break. And we were both very disappointed because I didn't know. It was a surprise. Mm-hmm. My surprise got bunked and my car was broken, so I was already depressed about my car being broken. Now I'm depressed because our date night got ruined. So it's not that he didn't try, it just didn't work. But what I'm saying is, if you take the initiative when you see these things and put it out there,
yes,
especially with everything that's going on right now, that shows her that you've got her in the front of your mind. She's a priority. Your relationship is a priority. It's a big deal.
And what's up with the U.S. mail? Here I am making these cards and sending them on different days so that you get one when I'm not here, and they show up. And
3 on one day, 1 on the other.
Yeah, they wrecked that too. But I could have kept trying, and I didn't. So number 3,
have a backup plan. If you guys are struggling, if something is not right, if you can't find the right way to say what you need to say, have somebody you trust to go to. If you need to email Quincy and ask him, do it. We have Rita, I can count on one hand the number of people that I trust to tell them what's going on with me or our marriage and know that it's safe.
And it goes nowhere.
And there's no judgment. If you don't have that, find it. Because if you guys are not in that place yet where Quincy and I are, obviously, we still have this hiccup too. Because I didn't come to him when I should have. If you're in that place where you're still not able to talk without getting freaked out at each other, and you need that middle ground, find that person. But tell your spouse, look, I'm dealing with some stuff and I'm not trying to hurt you, but I need to air it out. And then when I'm sure that I've processed through this, I'd like you and I to sit down and talk about it. At least you're putting it out there so they're not feeling like you're shutting them off and you're withdrawing, and now there's this huge rift and they have no clue what they did, because all you're doing is leaving it in their own head of what did I do wrong, what conversations. You're letting a tape play in their head that doesn't need to be there. I mean, my hamster runs on its wheel all by itself. If you feed it, I'm hunting you. It's not necessary. The last thing, and this is a kicker for me because this is one that I struggle with, because Quincy is good at it, and I will be honest, it frustrates the hell out of me, but I've given permission. Do not accept, I'm fine. It's okay. If you see the red flags that tell you she is in fact, or you are in fact not fine, you are not okay, do not accept it. Quincy calls BS. I don't like it. But he calls BS. And all it does is forces us into a conversation where we're going to say it ugly, we're going to clean it up, and then we'll figure it out. But if he doesn't push, or if I don't push, he comes home and he's frustrated, and I can tell he's frustrated, and he doesn't want to talk about work, but I know he needs to get it out of him. No, I think you really need to. How can I help with this? What do you need? Because I'm seeing the way you're behaving, and this is not normal for you. You're not being mean. You're just letting your spouse know something's off, and I feel like, can I do something? I feel like I need to step in and help, and I don't know what I should be doing right now. Can you give me an idea of what's going on so I know what role you need me to play?
So it sounds to me like you're always big on, I signed a contract, I signed a contract, I signed a contract. That's what you always relate back to. So I think it's time for us to make a contract. And we need to figure out how to negotiate it now. We only have a couple minutes. But we need to figure out how to negotiate it and then sign the contract so that if either one of us have that static going on or that crap going on that we're not talking about and the other one identifies it, we have to come up with a buzzword or phrase. That's what I was thinking. Honey, I'm calling BS on this. So can we make that a contract?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I'm going to make you kiss me so we can sign the contract. Hold on.
Give
me some tongue.
Shut up.
Okay.
Y'all are not getting all the live action on that one on the radio. Sorry, not happening.
What we need to do is finish up this playbook episode, but I think that's where we can kind of put a bow on it. Because that's it. Had we done these things, shoulda, woulda, coulda, we could have prevented some of these things happening. But if there's any positive to pull out of it, it's a lesson for our audience. And I love our audience and appreciate them listening and how they reach out. And if it takes us being an example for you to gain some ground in your marriage and improve that, then that's what we're here for. And that's what we have the passion to do, is help you understand that your marriage can be as good as you want it to be. You just have to decide what that is. I think you did an excellent job in this particular series, Part 4, EFS, Crazy Good Communication. Epic fail, sucker. And I'm glad. I feel a lot lighter on the inside and more open.
I think we're doing the podcast to help other people, but the more we prepare for it, the more our junk comes up, and it's like, oh, we were supposed to, okay, yeah, so we'll have a podcast about that.
Yeah, but it's our journey. It's what it's really what my heart is. It's what I wanted from the beginning to share our journey, because if we, with the deck being stacked against us, if you will, and that's probably a poor mindset, but with the hand that life has dealt us,
we have a lot of material to work with. We
do, but if we can make this work, and not only just make it work, but make it great, anybody can.
True.
I believe that. We're people just like everybody else. All we are is we're willing to do it. We're willing to go for it. So, I am the Q Dog. She is Jeannie Moran, and this is Man versus Marriage, the podcast.
The podcast. How good do you want your life to be?
You gotta live on purpose, for a purpose.
It's truly about becoming the best version of yourself that's possible. This is Man vs. Marriage, the podcast.